friends, 2 time zones, and a shared love of stories.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Jamie.
Bridging time zones 1 chapter at a time.
Welcome to Once Upon a Time Zone. Hello everyone, welcome to another book chat. Today we're talking about our anticipated book releases for the second half of this year. That's 2025.
Before we get into that though, we thought we'd go over our current reads. So Jamie, what are you currently reading?
Ooh, I'm going first today.
Yep. Okay. Thought we'd switch the order up.
I know you are very excited about this one, but I'm currently reading Magnolia Park's Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings.
Yes.
So if you don't know what this is, it is the 5th book in the Magnolia Parks series. It is the latest one, so after I read this one, I'll be caught up. I will say, I have been the biggest Magnolia Parks and BJ hater throughout this entire process. I will admit that they have grown on me in this book so far. I have around 100 pages left, and Freya and I have been talking about this, but it's kind of like the first book where we see both of them as humans, really, and both of them have something to relate to. They just seem more real, more relatable, and there's a lot in this book that deals with grief and past traumas, and I feel like the past books in the series have been kind of a build-up towards this one. So, Magnolia's previous 2 books have just been, a big mess, very Gossip Girl vibes, obviously. But this one, we're kind of, finally addressing all of those issues. And I think it's really good, other than a few things. But
well, okay, my biggest question is, have you shed a tear yet? Have you cried yet?
I haven't cried, but I have gotten, teary. I've gotten, a little sniffly and teary. I haven't, full-on cried, but there have definitely been moments that have made me feel very strong emotions. Yeah, because I feel like where it leaves off in Long Way Home, and then even in The Great Undoing, and then going into this one, I remember when I read it, I had to wait so long. I read The Great Undoing as soon as it came out, and then I had to wait so long for Into the Dark to come out. And I was then when I had to relive it all, I couldn't hold myself together. I was like, I can't do this. It's so, it's not funny, but I completely forgot. I didn't forget, but I didn't realize that we would be stepping in and starting out this book so sad. For some reason, I knew what happened at the end of Long Way Home, but I don't know. I didn't clue in that we'd be addressing it immediately, which doesn't make sense at all. But I don't know. It took me by surprise.
Yeah, no, it's a big read. I think it's probably, definitely the most emotional one of the series. It's my favorite one of the series, I think, for the reasons you said, because you finally start to see, because I was not a BJ fan either. No. And I think this was the first book where I was like, I kind of am starting to understand you. I'm starting to and you guys make sense together. You guys are perfect together. And I think it was the first time I started to see that as well. And then Magnolia, I had already started to like her a lot more in Long Way Home and The Great Undoing. So I was kind of already on that train.
Yeah, makes it. Yeah, I feel like we're the same way. But what are you reading?
Yeah. I am reading a bit of an obscure one. I am reading a book called Capturing the Devil. It's the 4th book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I don't know if you've heard that, but it's a really fun series. It's a YA series, and they're all kind of based off historical crimes. So technically we're based off real crimes, obviously Stalking Jack the Ripper, real person. Mm-hmm. But all the characters surrounding it and a few of the plot points surrounding it are fictional. So it's a YA historical crime series, and then each book follows a different real case. And it's really fun. I've had so much fun with the series. It's one that I just kind of pick up whenever I need, not a thriller, but something that's just really addictive and really easy to read. It kind of almost reminds me of a Jennifer Lynn's Barnes book, if you know what I mean. that kind of easy read. Yeah.
Super fast paced.
Yeah, but yeah, and little tiny bits of romance in there as well, just to kind of keep you hooked. But yeah, it's really fun. I'm having a lot of fun at the moment.
Love that. Yeah, something a little different to break up our usual reads. Shall we get into our anticipated releases? Yeah. The first one that I'm very excited for, I think this is probably already out by the time this episode goes out, if I'm looking at my calendar right.
Yeah, it probably is.
But it is Three Shattered Souls by my Corland. So the release date on this one is July 15th, and this is actually the third book in the Five Broken Blades trilogy. So this is the conclusion to the series. If you don't know what this series is, it's an adult romantasy, but what I like about it is that it's like the formatting of it is a bit different because it is multi-POV, and so we're not just following like one couple. We kind of have like 3 couplings because we follow 6 main characters with switching POVs. Basically, we have 6 assassin type characters. They all get hired to pull off this heist to assassinate the enemy king. They're all like liars, none of them trust each other, and so everyone is like holding a secret, and at the end of all of these books, like chaos just breaks. All these secrets come out, betrayals. It's just a super fun series for me.
Yeah, I remember watching your reading vlogs on them, and it made me really intrigued in them because I haven't heard too much about them, like about any of the books really.
Yeah, they're just so much fun. They're super fast-paced. They're also really gorgeous. They have the most beautiful sprayed edges ever, and the sprayed edges connect to make like a scene. So once you have all 3 of them and you put them beside each other, they will make a scene on your shelf. And these are books I display like edges out because I have to.
Yeah, it would be a crime not to. I love when sprayed edges do that. I love when like even just the spines do that. It's so satisfying to like slowly start to put the series together as you keep reading.
Yeah, it's so much fun. But I don't know if I should read the synopsis in this one just because, I don't know, it's the third book in a series.
Yeah, might be stepping on some slight spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, even if they're like super general, I don't think there's anything too specific. But yeah, that's definitely something I'm really excited for. I'm excited to read it and finish off this series.
Yeah, will you be reading it kind of on release week? Will you be reading it as soon as you can, or just kind of when you get to it?
I'm not sure because I already do have my July TBR set, so I guess it just depends if I have time to read it, but definitely want to get to it soon.
Oh, I wish I was one to stick to my TBR. I'm such a mood reader. I just pick up whatever I'm in the mood for. It's so bad.
There has only been 1 month since I started doing monthly TBRs where I've missed 1 book in my TBR.
That is crazy. That's so good though.
I'm so dedicated. I'm like, if I've committed, I have to do it. Like, I force myself to do it.
No, that's so good. Mine's more like guidelines. I'm just like, if they're there and if I'm in the mood for them, I'll pick them up. But otherwise, I'm just going to read And also, I feel like every single month, I never account for the new releases like this. And so when they come out, I'm always like, oh, I'm going to go read this one. And then I just keep forgetting about the books that are already on my shelf. It's not good. It's not a good habit.
I feel like that's like most. I feel like that's healthy. Like, treat it as a guideline. I just like force myself to read. It's the same way like how I can't DNF a book. Like, I'm just too stubborn. I have to stick to like my guidelines, my rules. Like I cannot stray from the path. Yeah,
I'm pretty bad at DNFing books. I think we need to get better at that though, because like when we're really not enjoying a book, like Zodiac Academy, we probably could have DNF'd.
I mean, you're still reading those somehow.
I don't know how, but anyway. All right, so the next book that is coming out quite soon as well, on the 22nd of July, is Not Quite Dead by Miss Holly Jackson, who I love. I love Holly Jackson's books. She's so easy and fun to read. And I believe this one is also a standalone, like her last release, is it, I think?
Yeah, this one's a standalone.
Yeah. So I'll give a little synopsis, I guess. So it says, in 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. On Halloween night, Jet is violently attacked by an unseen intruder. She suffers a catastrophic head injury. Oh my gosh, words, Freya. The doctor is certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet has never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has at most 7 days, and her condition deteriorates as her only childhood friend Billy and asks for her child. Words today, Freya. This is not good for a podcast. And asks her only child friend Billy for help. But nevertheless, she is absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. So now that my words have started working again, this is the thing about time zones. It's early in the morning for me. But this sounds really interesting. I feel like Holly Jackson always comes out with really interesting kind of, not, your typical YA thriller novel. which is really fun for me. I'm definitely going to be reading this very soon, like as soon as I can.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. And this one I saw is actually an adult book, I'm pretty sure. It's her first adult thriller.
I did not know that. I kind of just assumed because, wow. Have you read all of Holly Jackson's books?
Not all of them. So I actually, for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I think is her most popular one, I only read the first book. And I thought it was fun, but the ending was like a little too ridiculous for me. And a lot of people said it just gets a lot more ridiculous. So I was like, maybe it's not my thing. But I have read a lot of her other books. I think my favorite from her so far is Five Survive, actually.
I was about to say the same. I feel like I don't see many people talk about it, but that was one of my favorites by her. I feel like it's the most unassuming one, and it's just such high stakes. So, and I feel like this might be on the same line as that because, you know, she's got 7 days to solve her own murder. So it's a very like short timeline. And I think it could be really, really fun.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Five Survive is like the timeline was so strict, like on a schedule. Like the parts were literally broken up into each hour of the night. If you haven't read Five Survive, it takes over the span of literally one night. So every part is like, it starts at like 10 p.m. or something. It's like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12, and then it like goes into the morning. And so I feel like this one's going to be really similar where it's like day 1, day 2, day 3, like up till 7, and it'll just feel like a ticking clock.
Yeah, it really just ups the stakes so quickly. And it makes it really addictive. You just want to find out what happens.
Do you think Jet will die in this one, or do you think she'll survive in the end?
Look, if it was a YA, like that's news to me that it's an adult thriller, but if it was a YA thriller, I'd say no, she should 100% survive. You know, it's a YA book. But now that it's an adult thriller, I don't know. I think it brings in a little bit more of a question. To be honest, I hadn't actually heard too much about this book until very recently. I kind of didn't realize, I haven't really seen many people talking about it. Until very, very recently. And I feel like everyone's gone, oh my God, Holly Jackson's coming out with a new book, which is really exciting.
The next one, though, oh my goodness, is probably my most anticipated release for the remainder of the year and probably for the entire year in general, but it's Katabasis. I always say this title twice because I never know if it's Katabasis or Katabasis by R.F. Kuang.
Yeah, I think it's from ancient Greek roots. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a hard one to know how to pronounce.
I've heard R.F. Kuang say Katabasis. So that's what I'm going with.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Which is not, it doesn't feel natural to me to say, which is why I always mess it up. Yeah, I was about to say,
it doesn't look like the way it's spelled, yeah.
But anyways, so this one comes out August 26th. This is a fantasy. It's like a dark academia, and the synopsis in one sentence is 2 graduate students must set aside their rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. I'm so excited.
We love a good bit of like Greek mythology as well. Like I love when they throw mythology into a fantasy setting. It's always a bait for me. I will always read it for that reason.
Yes. Something I'm also curious about this one is there is not romance in this, but there is love. R.F. Kuang has described this as a love story, but not a romance, which is a little terrifying because what does that mean?
That makes you nervous.
And I've never really, like, R.F. Kuang doesn't really write, like, romantic things. Like, I have probably inferred a lot of romantic things within her other books, but none of her books have actually been, like, romances or love stories. And so I'm so curious to see how she does this one.
It's actually my next read. I need to. I think I've been putting it off because I'm so terrified. I'm so scared to go into it, but it's my next read. I had to finish the book I was in the middle of because it was a series that I was doing a vlog for, but as of tomorrow, I don't have any vlogs I'm filming. Well, I will be going on to another vlog and filming that. So I'm very scared about it.
I need to see your experience.
I'll be updating you. If I could just like send it to you, I would.
I literally need to fly over to Australia to steal your arc.
Just to get it. It's worth the ticket.
Leave your window open. I am flying over.
You're very scared, but I think it's going to be good. I love, as I said, I love it like mythology. As soon as mythology is integrated into a fantasy book, that's, you know, going back to my Percy Jackson roots. But I feel like this is going to be a whole nother level.
Yeah. Oh my, I'm so excited for this one too. I actually just got tickets to see R.F. Kuang because she's doing a tour for this book and she's coming to Toronto. Yeah, so it's in September.
She actually looks so sweet as well.
I know. She looks so sweet, but she writes the most like painful books and it's like, where does this come from? Literally where?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right. The next one, speaking of releases that we got early, I believe Jamie has already read this one, but this is one of my most anticipated releases that comes out on September 2nd, and that is Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This is a mutually favorite author of ours. We love everything she's written that we've read. I haven't read everything she's written, but I'm getting there. Actually, I just realized that there's a bunch of series she has written that are recently getting put back into bookstores because of her. I can't exactly remember what it was, but there's 2 other series that she's written that I saw on shelves the other day. And I was like, does that say Rebecca Ross? Because also the covers don't give her, you know, her typical cozy kind of fantasy vibe. And so I was really confused.
Oh, yeah, I think I've done like a deep dive.
Her backlist.
Yeah, I've done a deep dive on Goodreads, but I can't remember what her other books are called.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember her having a lot that I haven't read.
Yeah, I was really surprised. So in Wild Reverence, we are following Matilda, who is the youngest goddess of her clan and blessed with the humble messenger magic. But in a land where gods often kill each other to steal power and alliances break as quickly as they are forged, Matilda must come of age sooner than most. She may be known to carry words and letters through realms, but she holds a secret she must hide from even her dearest of allies to ensure her survival. And to complicate matters, there is a mortal boy who dreams of her, despite the fact that they have never met in the waking world. That final line makes me so excited. And I believe this is a sequel to Divine Rivals, is it?
It's a prequel, so it takes place before.
Prequel.
Yeah.
So, set in the same world as Divine Rivals, which immediately so excited about. And that whole, that little line, the fact that he like dreams of her and they've never met in the real world, that makes me so excited and so intrigued. And, you know, Rebecca Ross, she does fantasy romances in such a unique way where there's so much chemistry between them and yet not a lot necessarily happens between them. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because I did read this early. But I was trying to think of like why I love her romances so much because there's not really any practical reason for why her characters get together, but they just fit, like they just match together so well. It's like they are blessed by fate or something, but like
soulmates, if soulmates exist.
I feel like all of her romances are like, I would call them like pretty quick romances, like insta love, but in a good way. Because I feel like insta love gets a bad rep, but I feel like her romances, like the characters, like you can tell, like they just always, like from the moment they meet, they're like, they feel this strong connection, but it's not like in a bad way.
With like the whole insta love, it's not done in the way that, you know, they meet each other and, you know, they're straight away together in a way. It's more like they meet each other and they have this like instant connection that they both acknowledge. But I don't know, it's done in a very different way and
I think
a very unique way, and I will always love them.
Yeah, same. It's like they work together to like overcome obstacles and villains and things that come their way, and that's where the build in the romance is.
I am very, very excited about this one. It's still a little bit, it feels like it's forever away, but I'm sure that date will creep up on us very, very soon. But that is one of my most anticipated releases for the year.
Yeah, and I think I've said this in our pilot episode, but this prequel like is my favorite in this world.
Yeah.
Over the original,
which is
duology.
Crazy.
Can't wait for you to read that one.
The next book is An Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, which comes out on October 7th. Now, neither of us have read this, right? We both haven't had arcs for this. Yeah, okay, no. Cool. I actually don't know too much about this one, so I'll be reading like the little blurb because I like to go into Stephanie Garber's books as blind as I can because I love the way that she just whisks you away into her magical, whimsical kind of world. And this is really exciting because I believe this is a new world?
It's a new world. It's also adult.
So
which is so interesting.
I'm really excited for that reason because I love Stephanie Garber's writing. And I've never read anything outside like the Caraval Once Upon a Broken Heart world of hers. Does she have much published outside of that?
I think that's all she has. Or maybe she does, but that's all I know of. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it could be like a Rebecca Ross situation. That's why I wasn't sure. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into this one. This one starts with a class in an old movie theatre. And James, our main protagonist, I'm guessing, has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense. Except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. With the clock ticking, Holland is pulled deeper into the magical world at the heart of LA and into the path of a magnetic stranger. Holland realizes everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even this stranger, and if she can't figure out whom to trust, not even the alchemical heart will save her. So that is quite the blurb.
That is quite the blurb. I love that.
I really went from knowing very little to like a lot about it.
Yeah. You know the whole plot now.
Which is totally fine.
I love the historical element to this.
It feels very, very different. And I think at the beginning I said James as the protagonist. Her name is actually Holland St. James as a whole. It feels very different to anything I've read before, which is always nice.
Yeah, it seems more serious, but I feel like there's a little bit of whimsical in there still.
Yeah, with
Like
definitely.
the alchemical heart, like the magical objects. But it's interesting because it seems like this will be set in real life. Yeah, it's set in LA. So her other books have all been like in a fully magical world. Like Caraval, Once Upon a Broken Heart. Yeah. Those have been like full magical environments. And this one, is based in LA, but a magical version of it. So
I feel like I know Stephanie Garber. She's one of my favorite authors, but it feels so weird to say that because I've only read her technically like one series or like one world. It feels so weird to kind of see her I'm so excited to see her branch out, but it feels really different.
Yeah, and her writing has always been like, I love her writing, but it's definitely very YA, and so it'll be so interesting seeing what her adult writing is like and how she describes things in an adult world. All right, the next anticipated release. I'm very excited about Holly by Adalyn Grace. So this comes out September 30th. And this is actually similar to what Stephanie Garber released last year, the little Caraval, the holiday novella. This is a holiday novella that is set in the Belladonna series, like in the Belladonna world. This
I still need to read that one.
Oh, you do. I feel like you would love it. If you loved like Once Upon a Broken Heart, the third book in the Belladonna series especially like reminds me of Once Upon a Broken Heart, and the main two the main two characters are very Evangelina Jax and just like the world and everything. Very similar.
Okay,
I feel like you would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first two books are more like gothic. I would say they're
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, like a gothic romantasy with like Regency era courting, like Bridgerton vibes meets gothic.
Yeah, and I think the reason I've been so put off is either people absolutely love it, like I know you really enjoy the series, or they'll be really bored the entire time. And I feel like I will love it because I do love a kind of, I don't want to say slower paced, but you know, that not necessarily super high stakes all the time fantasy with like really, really strong line of romance. Like River Enchanted, everything like that. I do love a kind of cozy feeling, slower, but just really atmospheric fantasy. But anyway, go on about Holly.
Yeah, no, I feel like you would love this one. But yeah, this is a holiday novella. The synopsis of this one is: something strange is happening at Wisteria Gardens, the manor that Blythe and... Ooh, maybe I shouldn't read this.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit of a spoiler, isn't it?
It's a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, it's a romantasy,
maybe
so it's not
what
entirely
you're following.
I can't really say the synopsis because it may spoil some things that happen in the original series, but I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be a nice, fun, quick read. I don't know if this one will be more Halloween or more like Christmassy. Because it's kind of being released, I was just like to say September 30th. That kind of makes me feel like it'll be Halloween-ish. And I know like most of the trilogy is quite gothic and there's kind of a murder mystery going on along with the fantasy stuff. So I'm unsure. But it does say holiday and festivities. We'll see. I'm excited to read it either way.
Maybe we've got a bit of, it'll just be good for the holiday season, honestly. Starting it off early, coming out, what was it, September 30th? Yeah, starting it off early.
Did you read the Caraval one, Spectacular?
Yeah. I loved it because as well, all the little illustrations, the images throughout it. I just thought that was so cute. And the publisher sent me some with like some of the little stickers and I literally have them all over my Kindle. I'm just like, they're the sweetest things.
That's so cute.
Yeah. I do love a little novella set, especially when you've read the whole series and you just want to like delve back into that world. But obviously reading it you can't read it for the first time again. So yeah, little novellas like that are really fun.
Yeah, just for some bonus content and just to see your characters being happy.
Exactly. So our next read, this one I think is a me anticipated release because I am a bit of an Ali Hazelwood fan. Her books are usually hit or miss for me, but I did really like Bride for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm kind of one of the people that I feel like most people either just it wasn't for them or they really, really liked it. So speaking of Bride, her next book in that series called Mate comes out October 7th. Which is very exciting. So this one we are following Serena, who is orphaned, packless, and one of a kind, coming forward as the first human-were hybrid was supposed to heal century-long rifts between the species. Instead, it made her a target, prey for ruthless political machinations between wares, vampires, and humans. With her enemies closing in on her, she only has one option left, if he'll have her. So obviously it's just, I find it so much fun because we're dealing with werewolves, vampires, everything like that. And I've got to say it, I was a Twilight girly from day one. One of the
we all were.
Yeah, exactly. And since that, I've never not enjoyed reading about vampires. Also like Cassandra Clare, she deals a lot with like vampires and everything. I've just always found them so fun. And I think I rated Bride like a 4 stars. Like it wasn't my favorite read ever, but I had so much fun. So I'm really excited to just delve back into this world. And I love seeing Ali Hazelwood go into, I wouldn't say it's a fantasy setting, but with some fantastical elements to her romances. So yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you read Bride.
I did, yeah. I gave it, so I was enjoying it like most of the way through and the nodding kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit out of the blue for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is new territory.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 3.5. So actually, I did have a lot of fun reading Bride. Okay. So I am curious about this one for sure. What I liked about Bride was that it was kind of a parody. Like it was kind of poking fun at werewolf vampire romances. And I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, I love Ali Hazelwood for that reason. I feel like she always has such a good sense of humor in her books, and so they're always just such a fun time. Like you know going into them that you're going to, even if it's not your favorite book by her. Like I feel like it's always going to be a fun little read.
Yeah, I love her sense of humor, which I feel like recently she's been diving into like not funny books, like books with less of her humor, and those are the ones I find I don't enjoy as much from her. But all of her books that are like rom-coms and have a strong comedic element, I really like those from her.
Yeah, I haven't read her newest one, Problematic Summer Romance, is that what it's called, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like that one again just kind of came out and I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, oh, we've got another Ali Hazelwood book. Because she writes books so quickly. That's like her part-time hobby, apparently.
What? But she's written 3 books this year.
Apparently, I can't remember. I think it was Haley Pham who was talking about this, but she is a professor. I don't know if she still is, but when she was writing her first few books, she was a professor and she just wrote them on the side. Same with Frida McFadden.
Wow.
So like the authors that just, push out books, like 3 books a year, they just do it for fun. And I'm like, that's crazy to me.
That's wild. Have any of them been like pre-written? Like maybe she wrote them
I don't
years
know.
ago?
Yeah. I'm not sure because, yeah, I haven't really delved much into it, to be honest. But yeah, I just heard, yeah, I think it was Haley Pham talking about that. And I just remembered being like, are you serious?
Wow, that is really impressive.
And Ali Hazelwood just seems like such a sweet soul, so.
She does, yeah. What's your favorite Ali Hazelwood so far?
I think I did really like The Love Hypothesis. No, sorry. Yeah, Love Theoretically. I really loved Love Theoretically. To be honest, I get a little bit confused with all her titles, with all the STEM romance titles. Yeah. They all start to confuse me. I really liked Love Theoretically just because I really liked the protagonist and the love story there. I thought it was I loved the little banter between them and everything. And then I think Bride. So I think they're my top two by her. I haven't had a 5-star read from her, but they've been, they're usually around the 4-star mark. So I usually know I'm going to enjoy them.
I actually really liked her chess one, Check and Mate.
See, that's the one I haven't read by her because it's a YA one, so I haven't read it yet.
No, I loved it. It's so cute. It's like Queen's Gambit, but make it romantic and cute.
Okay, that's cute. I love that she always puts such fun settings. Like her last deep end was diving and everything. We've got chess, obviously lots of chem.
No, you should read Check and Mate. I feel like you would love it. Okay. It's so cute.
That'll be a good little brain break, actually.
Our next one is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. This comes out November 4th. And I actually have an e-arc for this one. I've just remembered.
Ooh.
I forgot that I had this. I feel like I've been so hyper-focused. Yeah, I've been so hyper-focused on reading my physical TBR that I forgot about the e-arcs that I have. But I do have access to read this one. The synopsis is, in the great walled city of Isara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making. But when a legionnaire falls in love with a magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. Which sounds so cool. I think every Adrienne Young book that I've read so far has been very magical realism with mystery. And so I'm so curious to see what her writing is like in this one, because it sounds like a higher fantasy, obviously, like more of an epic story, more of a full fantasy world, and like not much mystery.
I think it sounds like there'll be some pretty great world building and political settings, which is, our last episode showed that we loved that. Read a quiz.
And we've got Fate of the City, we've got Will of the Gods. Yeah. We've got all the stuff that makes for a great read in this one.
Ticking all the boxes.
But yeah, her writing is usually so mystery and so atmospheric. So I truly don't know how her writing will translate into a setting like this. But that just kind of makes me more excited to read it.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's like Stephanie Garber, stepping outside their typical writing genre. Makes you just more excited.
I feel like there's so many authors this year. I keep saying it in all of my vlogs and videos, but it seems like so many authors are branching out this year, and I've been loving it.
And for the most part, I think it's been really successful. I've loved everything I've read.
And then the last one on our list is actually another one I'm super excited about. It is The Strength of the Few by James Islington. By James Islington. This comes out November 11th. I am so excited for this one. This is the second book in the Hierarchy series. So the first book was The Will of the Many. And you haven't read this one, have you?
I do have it sitting on my shelf. It's just a very big, intimidating book. And that is purely the reason I haven't read it.
Okay, but you need to read it because the second book is coming out.
I know. Clearly, look, looks like I have a little bit of time, but I actually don't think I've seen a bad review on this. I haven't seen a lot of reviews, to be honest. I think only a select few people, I'm mutuals with or whatever, have read it. But the reviews I have seen have been pretty much all positive.
Yeah, I feel like this book has gotten a lot of hype in my circles, but overall in general, I feel like there's not too many people, it hasn't spread to the bigger population of the internet.
Well, I think as soon as there's a thick fantasy book, that deals a lot with like, like lots of politics, intense world building, like just a very detailed kind of fantasy book. I think that's just, it's not for everyone. So it's not just like Fourth Wing or something like that. That's very, anyone can kind of delve into it and read it and enjoy it. Yeah. It's, a little bit more. You got to use a little bit of your brain.
It's just a little bit. Yeah. So if you haven't read or heard of The Will of the Many, the synopsis says, at the elite Katenin Academy, a young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series. So
it's a very little blurb.
That doesn't say much, but so our main character is an orphan, and his name is Vis. And he, at the beginning of the book, gets adopted by this guy who's like higher up in the hierarchy of this world. His new, I guess you could say, adoptive father tells him that he will adopt him as long as he attends this elite academy. And not only does he have to be like the top of his class, but he also has to spy on certain people. So we have academy setting, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I did not know that there was like, I didn't really know. I knew that there was an academy setting, but I kind of didn't really think about how fun that could be. Because I do love an academy setting in my fantasy books. That's always something that has me intrigued.
No, the academy setting is so fun. And I will say the academy starts like maybe halfway into the book. We like half of the book is world building, essentially, which is a long time, but you just kind of have to stick with it. And then we get into the exciting academy part in the second half of this book. But I thoroughly enjoyed everything, like even the world building parts. Yeah. I was just fully immersed. This world is also really funny. I describe it as like a sci-fi fantasy MLM, basically. It's very like pyramid structure. Yeah, okay. And there's math involved, but that's all I'm going to say. It's like an MLM, and now you have to read it. Just to find out.
That does get me more intrigued. To be honest, I didn't know too much about it either. And it's going to be a trilogy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. That's not too much to commit to, honestly.
Yeah, and the cliffhanger, there is a cliffhanger.
Ooh, so you've been like anticipating this one. Maybe I need to read it and finish it on like November 3rd. So then I can just
maybe, yeah. I honestly think this is a book I'm gonna have to reread before the sequel because it's one of those worlds that has so much going on and so much information.
Buddy read.
No, we should. Okay, November 1st.
If you're gonna
we're starting.
yeah, literally just set those dates aside.
November TBR, it's set.
Yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much our list of most anticipated so far. I think whilst there are so many still coming out, a lot of my most anticipated releases did come out at the beginning of the year. And I think a lot of yours as well.
Yeah, a lot of it was like front loaded this year.
It all came out at a very similar time. It was very overwhelming. I was like, I'm like going April. Heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, and it was a lot.
Once April started, I feel like that's when the surge of them came out. I think that's it for this episode. So if you guys have any anticipated releases that we haven't talked about today, definitely let us know. It'd be fun to hear what you guys are looking forward to as well.
Yeah, we'd love to chat in the comments about it.
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, wherever you are in the world or whatever time zone you're in.
Until next time, stay comfy and keep reading.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on socials for more bookish content.
Bye! See you next time.